Google Stadia's creative director, Alex Hutchinson, decided that he wanted to chime in. Not that anyone gives a flying fuck about anyone at Google Stadia, including Google. But he decided to chime in here and talk about shit that he actually must not know anything about, which makes sense because he's working at Google Stadia. And if there's one thing I'm certain of, nobody at Google Stadia knows anything about video games. And so we're going to wait. Me saying the word Google so much has triggered my phone about 4 times now. And so we're going to hop into this tweet real quick. So he decides to chime in with this tweet. I get this off of 9volt, one of the real guys out there for the news curation in the Twitterverse. So Alex says, streamers worried about getting their content pulled because they used music they didn't pay for should be more worried by the fact that they're streaming games they didn't pay for as well. It's gone as soon as publishers decide to enforce it. The real truth is the streamers should be paying the developers and the publishers of the games they stream. They should be buying a license like any real business and paying for the content they use. Signed, some dude that works for a video game company that will be dead inside the next year and a half if Google stops fucking floating it.
Dude, what's fucking funny is I tweeted out to this guy 25 minutes ago. I didn't even know this was a topic.
Oh yeah, that's what I said. It just popped up like a half hour ago in the timeline. Yeah. Everyone's retweeting this fuck, and he's getting salty that people are like, "Oh, I'm just speaking the truth." This dude's crazy. He's a wacky. He's a whack job, and he shouldn't have his position. If this is his take, Google should look at that and go, "You know what, bro? Maybe you as creative director was not a great choice." Because if you don't understand the greater market as it is right now for how to push your services and games, and how a large portion of that is driven by content creators, then you've lost the net. And you should probably go and do something else. It's a bad take. Here's the deal, Alex Hutchinson. I'm just going to call you Alex. Here's the deal, Alex. Streaming and content creating have actually made developers, both large and small, multi-millionaires. Some instances of this are as recent as like fucking 3 weeks ago. And if you didn't live under the rock that looks like your bald head that mine will soon follow, you would know that AOC just played this game, which was another topic today, with a couple of other top streamers that pulled in like 4+ million total viewers with a peak concurrent of 430 something thousand.
Yeah.
Second highest all time. Among Us is the name of that game if you don't know which game I'm referring to, which is actually a 2-year-old video game that for all intents and purposes was on the way out, in that the developer was making a sequel called Among Us 2. And then lo and behold, some streamers and some YouTubers started playing the game. And they sold so many fucking copies and blew the game up so big and so fast, the developer that you are saying people should be paying money to stream their game because we're making so much money hand over fist on this bad boy. We should be paying them because they saw the success and it is so successful, they had to cancel the sequel to update the current game. Alex, you're living in the year 1960, which is probably indicative of the age of most of the people that are above you in this company. And any one of your mentors up to this point in your career. You're old media working for a new media company in your mindset. And that shit's embarrassing. And how it got past Google's fucking rigorous hiring process is beyond me. I don't even know. But that take, that ain't it. And the whole world's letting you know it's not it. Simultaneously. It ain't it. You know what else isn't it, Jeff?
What is it?
Google Stadia.
I just tweeted out to that guy. So he just tweeted. He's obviously getting annoyed with the internet. He goes, anyway, I'm gonna hop online and stream some Fall Guys. Who's up for it? I tweeted out, did you pay for that license? Lol. By the way, good luck with Google Stadia. That will be dead in 3 years tops.
Did he really say I'm gonna stream some Fall Guys?
He said I'm gonna stream some Fall Guys, bro.
Oh, the irony. Oh, the fucking irony. Look, the only reason Google Stadia hasn't gone away yet is because it's getting floated.
Yeah, it's Google. It's Google money.
Yeah,
it's the same. It's the same reason why the Mixer hadn't gone out sooner. It had that Microsoft money.
Anyway, Alex, congratulations into fooling enough people to get that position in the company.
Yeah,
really, enjoy the money that you're earning from Google. I'm sure it is anywhere between 4 and 5 times as much money as I've made in any singular calendar year. To sit there and God only knows what the fuck you're doing as creative director there. I can only imagine. Especially since it's dead in the water. But hey, keep it up, make your money. And good luck when Google closes Stadia and fires you.
It's coming.
Get your experience in now.
Yeah, that's inevitable.
Boost that CV as far up as you can. Abuse the fuck out of LinkedIn. Get ready. Because it's coming.
Oh, imagine how many people aren't even going to touch Google Stadia now, just from hearing this dumbass's opinions.
Oh, Google will never, ever would have wanted to have him put the opinions of my Twitter are not representative of the opinions of Google faster into that fucking header. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's not. I don't think it's there right now.
Oh, it's coming.
But if it isn't, it's coming. That was a big yikes take. You can't if you had to let me just lay this out for you, Alex. You're not listening to this. You're probably too busy playing Fall Guys without paying them to play it. The crazy thing is here is that if you were to actually as publishers enforce people having to pay commercial licenses per X number of views that you were going to be using it for, like you were doing like radio gigs or like voiceover work. Jeff would be using a similar model. When you get commercial work, they pay you for like, let's say 250,000 plays, and then or ears that they hear your shit. And beyond that, then it has to change, and then it continues on. It would be the same thing as that. It would be like you're going to license this game to stream it in front of X number of people for X number of hours, and then after that, you're going to come back and you've got to spend some more money. Okay, well here's what would happen. Everyone would stop, except for like maybe 3 people, and the amount of money that the developers and publishers would make off of the licensing would be a piss in the wind in comparison to the amount of free advertising and turnover of sales in the games that streamers play. Literally pissing in the wind.
It's the same as the music. It really is
it's the same. It's the same argument. The difference is in the video game market, the publishers are willing to understand that in new media they can work with content creators and make more money by not having them jump through all those legal hoops than the opposite. Even Nintendo hasn't completely come down that hard on people, other than taking revenue from the YouTube videos themselves. They still let people actually make the video. And if you are making money externally YouTube advertising, they don't come after you for that money. So like even Nintendo knows. And Nintendo's the worst.
Yes.
Even Nintendo hasn't stepped up and done that shit. You would end all of it immediately. You were talking about a content creation being a multi-billion-dollar industry.
Yep.
You were talking about an industry that is worth so much that Amazon got in on it. Your own parent company is in on it and trying desperately to make it work. Literally, Google going in and buying YouTube years ago and then going ahead and making a streaming platform on their service knowing full well what it means should tell you everything that you need to know. Do you think if you went to Google's headquarters and sat down with the heads for Google Gaming and YouTube, or like YouTube Gaming and YouTube's major platform, and said, "Hey guys, we should be like helping these developers and publishers make their money in licensing fees from the content creators playing these games," they would kick your ass out that window. That fucking meme where the guy like mentions the shit, except instead of a good idea, it's the dumbest fucking idea, and your ass gets tossed out a window.
Yep. I mean, I'm not even sure the guy even believes what he's saying. Like, I think he might even have just been saying it to stir up some shit, which I really don't have a rebuttal for what he says, because it's so disconnected and just so, like, games are created.
It's something that somebody in their 60s or 70s would say, and this man looks like he's 35.
It's these games are created in hopes that people on Twitch play their game. There's a reason why these companies go to Twitch, go to streamers, and pay them hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars for just playing the game for a weekend.
Yeah.
You know, I just got paid to play Hyper Brawl for an hour on during my stream. Do you think I would have just picked up that game by myself and bought it and played it for the sake of just doing it? The answer is no.
There are streamers that will get, we talked about this before, streamers that will for like an hour get paid like $5,000
yes
to play for an hour
yes
on a game that oftentimes is something they've already played for nothing.
Yes.
And this guy's out here saying the companies are going to get worried and clamp down when they could get it for free versus $5,000 an hour.
Because they realize if they're paying a streamer $5,000 for an hour, and that streamer during that hour is bringing in 20,000 eyes, they're willing to make a $5,000 investment in advertising to get more people to see the game that typically would not see the game. It's no different than them taking their advertising dollars. Actually, it is different. It's more direct. They try and target streamers in a certain category, in a genre that fits their demographic of viewership, and then they pay them. The tighter the demographic is, the more you get paid. So the more targeted, the more CPM rates that they can basically pay you, because instead of going to Facebook and blasting $1 million worth of Facebook ads for a 30-day campaign, they'd rather pay $1 million to 20 different streamers or 50 different streamers or 100 different streamers it's going to be more direct. It's going to be more personal, more a better for their dollar. You actually expect streamers to pay a licensing fee to play a fucking game in front of their viewers and advertise their game? No, it's a two-way street. You create great content so that we can thrive with it. And when we thrive with it, you guys benefit from us thriving from the game that you created. That's just how it works. You don't pull a fucking what was it? Which game was it that was trying to get people MLG to pay to fucking have their pay a licensing or whatever? Or somebody, there was some sort of mainstream events that were trying to get these game companies to pay to actually have their game at these places. It's like, guys, you wouldn't get this viewership if this game wasn't part of your broadcast. So why in the fuck would they pay you to have their game being played there for their players to play? It's a two-way street. You host the thing, the game comes, they can bring the prize pool if they want. If they want to spice up, it's what StarCraft is doing. It's why StarCraft paid out all these millions of dollars to have, Home Story Cup and all these other ones to continue to have their game be played in front of people. It's ridiculous. If a publisher actually thinks for a second that we are, it's like Rockstar. Can you imagine if Rockstar went to every role player and every streamer and every YouTuber that makes Grand Theft Auto 5 content actually pay a licensing fee to use their content? Do you really believe that Grand Theft Auto 5 would have the amount of sales that it has today? The answer is no. The answer is a hard no. The answer is a massive no. The fact that Grand Theft Auto Online and the YouTube community around that, and that now the Twitch community, that's the reason why the longevity is there. There's a reason why Fall Guys is as big as it is today. Is because the streamers were playing it and nobody had to pay a licensing fee. It's the same thing what you just said with Among Us. It's the same thing with the with that Phasma phobia game. These guys, they need the streamers to play their games. And in fact, a lot of these are developed around streamers. I get spam emails of these developers trying to get me to play their game. There's a reason for it.
You know, the only people that don't benefit and the only person that would want to actually have people license their game to not be shown publicly for free is when you know you have a shit video game.
Yes.
And you don't want people to see it before they buy it. You are hoping against all hopes that they don't watch any online content of any kind, any video reviews or anything of that nature. You are hoping against all hope that they only buy your game and find out after they can't do anything about it and play it and it's shit. That's the only person that benefits in that scenario. Otherwise, it's a symbiotic relationship.
Yes.
It's everyone benefits. And harming one or the other is a bad idea. You just let it go as it is, and everyone has a good time. So, weird take, fucking very odd. Hold on. Hashtag third guy is making an appearance. The creative director at Stadia was also the dev lead that said they don't like women characters because their fingers are too hard to animate and work with. Great. He would know because he probably has very womanly hands. All right, anyway, enough of that guy because that dude is on another fucking planet.
He's a fucking moron.
But there you go.
Good luck
ladies
with
and gentlemen.
Stadia there, Alex Hutchinson. I look forward to coming back to your Twitter page within, a 2-year period and seeing that you're a creative director of something else because Stadia is going to burn and die.
Alex Hutchinson, next hand model coming to you. Get a nice engagement ring that I'll be buying my girlfriend. Modeled on Alex Hutchinson's hand. Thank you for putting in the work, Alex. It's greatly appreciated.